Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Cesy Can Cook. I'm going to show you today how to make my blueberry streusel coffee cake. It is deliciously light and moist, as you can see, so all you have to do is stay tuned for the recipe.
So since we're gonna start off with the streusel first, this is gonna go on top of our coffee cake. The ingredients you will need are brown sugar, flour, and a little bit of cinnamon. And you also need cold unsalted butter. So let me show you the process to make this. Okay, so we're gonna add in the ingredients here. And we're also gonna add our butter. Okay, you want to cut your butter into little tiny squares, and the idea here, if you have like one of those little pastry, you know, the presser, that will be wonderful. I don't have one of those, and quite honestly, I prefer to do this with my hands, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm basically just gonna crumble this like so until the butter is completely mixed in with the flour and sugar, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm just going to continue crumbling. Alright, so this is what you want it to look like. Mine is already done. Now I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to set this aside, and I'll show you the part for the cake batter. So these are the ingredients you need for your cake batter. Fresh blueberries, unsalted butter at room temperature, all-purpose flour, and a baking powder, granulated white sugar, the zest of 1 lemon, the juice of half a lemon, buttermilk, and egg. I also have my pan here that has been buttered or greased, and my oven is preheated to 350. That's all you need for the cake batter part. Okay, so for our cake batter, now this is a really simple cake batter, so light and fluffy and moist. I'm going to add my butter. And I'm going to cream this on medium speed until it's creamy and it turns into a light pale color. So now we're going to add our sugar. We're going to make it rain, remember the deal. And we're going to continue to beat it slowly until it's well incorporated. And I've also added a little bit of vanilla paste to my egg. Okay, so now I'm going to add my egg with my vanilla. And I'm going to let this incorporate, and then I'll show you the following steps. Alright, so while our butter is getting well incorporated, I'm mixing in my flour with the baking powder, because once I add it into the batter, I want it to be well mixed. So I'm just going to do that and set that aside. And now what we're going to do is scrape down the sides of our bowl, and then before we begin the next step, which is adding in the flour. Okay, so we're gonna slowly add in our flour. We always start with flour and end with flour. So I'm just gonna add 1/3 of this, like so. And then I'm gonna add some of the buttermilk, like so. And then mix it well. A little bit of more flour. And the rest of the buttermilk. And let this incorporate well, but you don't want it overmixed. So just about 10 seconds or so. And now the remaining flour has been added. And that is it. Now we're gonna work on our blueberries. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add my lemon juice to the blueberries, and this is optional. By the way, you can use any fruits like apples or cranberries will go great with this recipe, raspberries, strawberries. Just with strawberries, you may just want to reduce the content. You just want to mix this in, and some people actually mix this in with the batter, but I don't do it that way. So we added the lemon juice. We're gonna set those aside. The lemon zest, you're actually gonna add it into your streusel, like so. And then you wanna mix it in with the spoon. We're not ready for that step just yet. So we're gonna take our batter from here, we're gonna add it to our pan, and I'll show you the following step. Okay, so just finishing adding the batter here. As you can see, it's not really that much because this is kind of like a bar. So we just have to make sure that we spread it evenly, and then we will be ready to add our fresh blueberries. So my batter was spread evenly. As you can see, just want to make sure it's evenly spread on every side. Okay, let's put that to the side. Now the next step is we're going to add our blueberries. So I'm just going to work with this spoon. We're just going to add it just like so. You want to stretch them out. Okay, so after you spread out all of your blueberries all over the batter, we're now going to use our hands and we're going to add the streusel. And you just want to cover it in this. And remember, you know, the lemon zest is optional. But I think that adding it to the streusel gives it a really nice touch. So we're going to put this in our oven at 350 degrees, and I like to give you the baking time after I'm done. That way I can tell you exactly how long it takes to bake. You want to give this a shake like this and put it in the oven. Now I'll show you the following step. So our cake is out of the oven, our coffee cake, and it baked for exactly 45 minutes. And I'm just gonna let it cool for another 30 minutes before I cut into it and I show you what it looks like. So our cake baked for exactly 45 minutes, as I said before, and I'm just going to cut into it. And one of the ways you can tell your cake is done is when it pulls from the sides. Now this has been cooling for about an hour, but you can let it cool for 30 minutes, it's fine. And I just like to cut into it like this. You can cut them as thick or, you know, as small as you want. That's it. And now I'm gonna show you what it looks like when I serve it. Okay, now the first slice, it's always the hardest one to take out, but be gentle here. And that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to cut into it just so you can see how moist and light this cake is. See? The buttermilk does wonders. It's a very light and fluffy cake. Again, you can use this, you can make this with any other type of fruit. The recipe is down below in the description box. Give it a try and subscribe and thumbs up for more easy and delicious recipes. Thanks for watching, guys.